Greetings from God knows where you are listening to Lázougi Live here on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. This is Blend episode 18. Once again, it's a pleasure to be here with you as we get into our topics of conversation, as we talk, as we interact and listen to electronic music. I want to believe that you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. It's the first day in the month of February 2020. How you doing? How has your week been? I hope you're feeling fine, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day. You're having a fantastic day. The month of January, has come and gone, and you know what they say about January? It's that month that refuses to come to an end. But so far, so good. Want to say, a big thank you to want to say a big thank you to God for keeping us alive, for keeping us strong and healthy, and keeping us in good shape and in good health as we get on with our day's activities. Okay, I welcome you to this episode of Blend. My name is Lázougi, and I'm going to be your host for the next 1 hour as we get into our topic of conversation, which I'm going to be revealing to you shortly. But first of all, okay, a little bit of information here and there that I need to pass across. Essentially, it has to do with what transpired last week, and it's just it's the usual. Okay, anytime we don't get together for blend, anytime we don't get together, it's always due to the usual power inconveniences. But thankfully, we're here and we're going strong. Okay, we're in episode 18 and we're taking it one step at a time. And I want to believe that as we keep coming together to hang out, to talk, to listen to electronic music, to interact, we keep weathering the storm, we keep finding ways to maneuver around these challenges and come together to do what we love to do. Yeah, on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. We've got plenty to talk about, we've got plenty to look into, and our topic of conversation, I'm going to be sharing that with you shortly. I'm going to be letting you in on what we'll be talking about. But in case you're just joining us for the first time and you're wondering what this show is all about, what we like to do here on Blend is that we like to come together to rub minds, to talk, to interact, and to discuss the social issues happening around us in society in order for us to make sense of um, of them, and also for us to really understand, and for us to not just understand but to have a deeper understanding and to find ways by which we can maneuver around this society of ours. We like to talk, like to interact, rub minds together, listen to electronic music, and to go further, we take it a step further by talking as well, by talking about the social conventions that govern the way society works as well, the rules, try to make sense of this whole thing, and first just to have a better understanding of it. All of this we do in a fun atmosphere. Again, all of this we do in a fun atmosphere, and we do this while listening to electronic music, of which I've got plenty for us to listen to soak ourselves in as we talk and as we learn a thing or two on this episode of Blend. We're going to be taking a slightly different approach. We're going to be going in a different direction today. We'll be talking about something that I usually don't talk about, okay, but just to spice up things. So we'll be talking about some fashion conventions, and I'll be giving some fashion tips, okay? Yeah, I'll be giving some fashion tips for my guys out there listening. And why I say we're going to be talking about some fashion conventions, there is something I want to talk about. I want to share with you. But before we do that, what we like to do on the show, first of all, we like to listen to some music to get us in that mood, okay? To make things a little bit cozy and relaxing for us. So that's what we are going to be doing right away. When I come back from this music break, I'm going to be giving you that, the gist of what we'll be talking about. I'll be giving you some information, okay? So, how we do it here on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. More talk, more music, more conversation, unlike anywhere else you've ever been to, okay? Yeah, so I got you, okay? I'm gonna be hooking you up with a lot of gist, a lot of information, and a lot of music, okay? But we are gonna be doing that right after this music break. The song you're gonna be listening to is titled Sooner. So enjoy this one. I'll be back right after this one.
Spiritually fit so that you can always find it in yourself, to go deep. Mentally fit so that you're listening to blend.
Welcome back from that music break. You're tuned into your number one electronic music station in God knows where, and you're listening to Lázougi Live. This is Blend, episode 18. The song you listen to during the music break is titled Sona, and it's time for us to get into our conversation. The topic of our conversation, the topic of what we'll be talking about today is titled Maximum Appeal. That is the topic on the table today. Maximum appeal. Said I was gonna be hooking you up with some fashion tips, especially my my bros and my guys out there listening. So that's what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about some fashion conventions, some fashion tips, some things that I have observed, and I believe will be very, very helpful to you out there, especially those of you who are very keen on experimentation, that is trying out new stuff, fashion wise. Okay, you are you're perhaps in your youth, and you want to do you want to do some cool stuff, with with your with your fashion ideas. Okay, you want to be cool with your fashion ideas, or you want to try something new along the lines of what we'll be talking about today. So it's very, very important for you to have this information, because it's gonna help you be more decisive. Okay, it's gonna help you be more decisive if you do to try what we'll be talking about on this episode of Blend. Again, the topic is maximum appeal. I find that some men, okay, so this conversation of ours will be directed at, again, the men. But that doesn't mean if you are a lady out there listening, of course, you already know that one or two tips are gonna be coming your way as well, and this is something you can also apply to your own fashion ideas. And to be frank, it's something that we men we learned from the ladies, or the ladies have been doing this for ages before we started to pick up on it. I find that some men are able to adopt and wear some men are able to adopt and wear fashion accessories pertaining to the opposite sex and get away with it. Okay? They get away with it to the extent that they come off looking quite, you know, sexy. Okay? They come off looking sexy while adopting and wearing this female fashion accessories. So that's what I mean by the get away with it. Okay, the get away with it to the extent that it makes them look more sexually appealing. That is, these men who are able to pull this off, these men are able to do this, these men are able to wear this female fashion accessories and are able to pull it off by looking more sexy compared to, on the other hand, some men who attempt the same thing but don't get the desired result. So rather than coming off looking sexy or looking very sexually appealing, they tend to either emit gay vibes, or or they end up looking somewhat feminine when they do this. So on one hand, you have men who are able to, wear these accessories, but it gives them this sexy look, this very, very seductive, sexually appealing look that makes the opposite sex go crazy, get turned on when they're around them. And some men pick up on this and try to emulate this, but no, they don't get that same look, they don't get that desired result, they don't get that aura of sexiness. Instead, they come off looking, you know gay or feminine. Okay, if you're gay, that's it's okay. But I'm talking about straight men now who want to be sexy, but they want to be sexy doing this, but no, they don't seem to get it right. So I've got some couple of examples, some couple of men we'll be looking at, and we'll be starting from more extreme cases, such as we'll be looking at the rock stars. Okay, so along the as we get into our conversation, you're going to understand what I'm talking about better, and you're going to see how it's going to help you be more decisive if you do try to to do this. So we're going to be starting off with some extreme cases, such as the rock stars. Okay, the rock stars who we all know them to we are all familiar with how they dress. Okay, how they use a lot of makeup, to enhance their looks. Not just rock stars, but I'm also going to be looking at another extreme example in the case of Xerex. If you don't know who Xerex is, if you've watched 300, Xerex is the patient king, the god king, the guy who has, I've got a picture of him, right here on the screen, the guy who has a lot of, should I say, ornaments or accessories all over his body. He's one of short extreme cases that I'm going to be looking at. He's got plenty of rings, plenty of nose rings on his face. He's got his eyebrows trimmed. He's wearing black eyeliner, something that the rockstars do as well. But the thing about Xerex, that is the God King, and Rockstars, and other examples that I'm going to be sharing with you. These are just extreme cases. We have subtle cases like men today who wear earrings on both ears. So we have men like that who wear earrings. Of course, I know you have already come across that, perhaps on the internet or Instagram, or somebody in person who does that. And we're going to be looking at what these men have in common, what these rock stars who are able to pull off this look. I mean, look at the rock stars. They wear makeup, long hair, sometimes go to the extent of painting their nails, black eyeliner, if possible lipstick. But you have the ladies going crazy with them. You start to wonder, okay, how come these men are able to pull off this look? How come they're able to look so damn sexy even though they are putting on all this makeup, all these paints on their bodies, on their fingernails? They've got they've got they've got paint on the fingernails, they've got makeup on the faces, long hair, eyeliner. How come this doesn't turn off the ladies, and you in particular, the rockstar fan, that is you, a guy, you as a guy? How come it doesn't turn you off? Okay, how come you don't, you get what I mean by turns you off? You don't look, it doesn't repulse you. That is what I'm trying to say. And look at Xerex again. That is the god king in 300. Just take a look at him, and with all of that makeup, with all of that, or with all of those makeup, sorry for that, with all of this makeup and all of those ornaments, accessories all over him. But this is a guy who, in the movie, was like a warrior, like he was the god king, he was the patient king. So we're going to be looking at the rockstars, we're going to be looking at Xerex, we're going to be looking at these guys who put studs on their noses, on their nose, like Tupac, for example. He has a nose stud on his nose. And what makes this man pull off short look? Okay, there has to be something about them that makes it possible for them to do this and still look very sexually appealing. I mean, it's not every guy who is able to pierce his nose like Tupac and still be that sexy. Okay, again, some of you might want to attempt doing this and you just fuck the whole thing up. Okay, it doesn't look good on you. You wonder why people are repulsed by it. You don't seem to understand how the other guy can get so good at it. I mean, some guys wear double earrings. Okay, before it used to be just one, but some guys have taken it further and they're able to pull it off. So there has to be something that makes them do this, right? Whereas on the other hand, especially in today's society where we have more and more feminized men, more and no more men becoming feminized by by a lot of the doctrines that feminism has encouraged in our society. A lot of this attack on masculinity and a lot of these doctrines that has made men and boys in our society today grow up to be more feminized. Okay, how is it that some men are able to pull off the sexy look while still, you know, while putting on the female accessories, the female fashion accessories? Examples, again, looking at the rock stars, your eyeliner, long hair, plenty of makeup. Not everybody can do that, but some people have that unique ability to pull it off and be sexy. So that is what we are going to be looking at on this episode of Blend. Like I said, we're going to be taking a slightly different direction. Okay, that is what Blend is all about. You never know what to expect. Okay, that's what makes it, that's what makes it fun. It makes it interesting for us. There's always something new for us to learn, something new for us to take home with us. And of course, I've got music. Who doesn't like who doesn't like that sonic vibe in them, okay, that makes them feel good. So as always, I invite you to be part of this conversation. You know how we do it here on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. All you simply have to do is make use of the live chat box right here on your YouTube application to share your thoughts, your observations, your questions, your answers. Okay, all of this just makes this whole experience a very, very interactive one that I love so much. Me and you, you and I going back and forth with these ideas, talking, listening, interacting, and rubbing minds together, okay, to come up with solutions to our problems, our challenges in society, and just to talk about anything under the sun. Okay, so if you've given it if you've given it some thoughts, and you think you have my answer. Okay, what is it about these guys that makes them so sexually appealing when they do this? Okay, that is when they wear this feminine fashion accessories that normally you will be repulsed by. Normally, that is if you that is if you're a guy that doesn't really fancy this this kind of this normally if you're a guy who doesn't fancy this kind of dressing, some of you might be repulsed by it, but they're able to pull it off. Okay, and when you try to do it, okay, maybe you're like, I think I want to get my ears pierced. I want to start, I want to start wearing studs, or I want to start wearing earrings on both of my ears, and you are indecisive. You're like, nah, okay, I'm not gonna do this. But you see it on some other people. It's like seeing a good suit on a guy, and you're like, man, I gotta try that. Okay, but when you try it on, it doesn't look good on you. Okay, so you see it on somebody else. You're like, man, I want to do that. Okay, I know I could look like that. Okay, I know I've got what it takes, but I'm not so sure what makes that guy pull it off. So if you got a clue, share with us. Let me know what you think. Let me know what makes this guy stand out. What makes them pull this off, unlike other guys who find difficulty in getting this done. While you Okay, while you're thinking about it, while you're deliberating and you're coming up with some answers, let's just compare. I've just used some extreme cases like Xerxes, the God King, because he's again an extreme case. He's got plenty of rings all over his body, plenty of gold. His his eyelashes are you know are trimmed in a somewhat feminine style. He's got makeup on. He's got eyeliner on. I mean, I know you're not gonna go to that extent. That's why I call it extreme. But you just wanna do something cool, and you know you wanna know how you can pull it off. So if you've got my answer, share with us. Share right here via the live chat box. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to go for a music break. And when we come back from this music break, I'm going to be telling you what all of these guys have in common that makes it possible for them to pull this look off. Okay, I'm going to be sharing with you how to do this as well, and I'm also going to be telling you how this also applies to the ladies out there. Okay, so I told you at the beginning of this broadcast that you ladies of course can also learn from this, and I did admit that you're way ahead of us in this. Okay, this is something that you've been doing as well, and you've been doing this as well, and you've been doing it really, really well. Okay, so there is some there is a common denominator in all of this that I would like to point across, but we are going to do this after this music break. Okay, this song is titled It's Your Call. When we come back from it, of course, yeah, on your number one electronic music station in God knows where, there's more talk, more music, and more conversation right after this break. Welcome back from that music break. You're tuned into your number one electronic music station in God knows where. This is Blend episode 18. My name is Lázougi, and I've been having fun, enjoying myself here, listening to some good music, okay, and talking with you and sharing this information with you just gives me joy and makes me feel glad to be here. And you know I hope that you feel the same way as well. I hope you're having fun and you're enjoying our conversation and the music that we got on our playlist today. Now let's get back to what we were talking about doing the music before the music break. Okay, the song you listen to during the music break is titled "It's Your Call." Before the music break, we're having this conversation, and I put it across to you. Okay, you know, what do you think? What do you think makes guys like this able to pull off this sexually appealing look while doing while adopting and wearing female fashion accessories like the rock stars, you know, or like you know your or like the guy in your neighborhood who wears earrings, for example. Are they able to do it and still look sexy compared to some other guy who doesn't seem to get it right? And this other guy is wondering, okay, what is it about this guy that makes him able to do this? Looking at our examples, looking at a few examples that I shared with you, and if you look at guys who are also apart from the examples I shared with you, that is, if you look at guys who do this and do it well, you will notice that while they're wearing those accessories, they still maintain their sexuality. In this case, they still maintain and retain their masculinity. Okay? That is guys who, or men who adopt this female fashion accessories, who wear them like eyeliners, like painting the nails black, all this edgy stuff that rockstars do that makes the girls go crazy for them. You notice that they do all of that stuff while still retaining the sexuality. That is their masculinity. Okay? So that makes them very, very sexually appealing to the opposite sex. I figured that the accessories that they wear the accessories that they wear is to bring attention to them. It's like what the pickup artists call peacocking. It's a way to it's a way to capture the attention of the opposite sex. But it's like a paradox because they do this while still maintaining their sexuality, their masculinity. So that is how they're able to look really, really sexy, look very, very attractive. Because even with all of those rings, all of those chains on Zyrex's body, his face, even with his eyeliner, even with him trimming his eyebrows in an arc, he still gives off that masculine energy. Okay, you can still sense that masculine presence in him. I mean, this was a guy who was dressed like this and he was going off to war as a king. So that masculine energy, that vibe was what made him in that instance look really, really, really sexy, really sexually appealing to the opposite sex. Like your Roxas as well. Like Tupac. Okay, if you look at Tupac, he has a nose piercing on his nose. But you see Tupac, you can still see and still feel that masculine energy, that presence, that masculinity. Which makes it a very huge turn on for ladies. So if you're a guy who is considering doing this, one question you will need to ask yourself, that is, if you are a straight guy who is considering, doing one or two of this, of you know of these things, question you will need to ask yourself is how masculine I am. Okay, how masculine I am. Because truth is, if you're not that masculine, you're gonna be emitting some feminine vibes that will not sit well with the opposite sex. Okay, you're a dude, you got 2 earrings on, but you're masculine. You're not that masculine. Okay, that masculine energy that you're supposed to be emitting isn't there, which is a huge turn on for the ladies. And now you've got studs, you've got piercings, you've got all those things. While you're thinking that by identifying, while you think that by identifying with the girls we get you sexually attracted to them, you find that they are not that into you because of what is lacking in terms of the masculine vibe that you should be emitting. Okay, this is all. This can, this is something you can see for yourself if you're very observant and if you look at those guys who are able to do this. One other example: Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James, Diddy. Okay, They don't go as extreme as Zerex or the Rockstars, but no, they do this, wear their suits, and they look sweet, okay, because of that masculinity, that energy around them. It's also one of the reasons why your girl will stay over your place, will wear your t-shirts, that is your t-shirt as a guy, or your button down shirt, and will look really really sexy in it. Because while she's wearing your shirt, while she's wearing your shirt or your hoodie or your clothes, she still retains and maintains her feminine side, her sexuality. So it comes off as sexy, which is why I say, or which is why I said earlier that this is something that the ladies have figured out for quite a while, and we are like playing catch up with them. How there was a time where ladies were only allowed to wear skirts. Okay, I grew up in that time where ladies or women were not allowed to wear trousers. No, they were told that trousers is only meant for guys. Okay, it's only meant for guys. You can't wear trousers. You can't wear something that a man wears. But over time, these these ladies have adopted that fashion item that originally was for we men, and when they put it on, because of their ability to retain and maintain their sexuality, their femininity, they look more sexually appealing to us. Okay, it's like seeing a girl wearing some basketball, those kind of big, somewhat oversized basketball shirts, harmless shirts that we guys wear. It draws our attention, but we get turned on by the vibe, the sexual vibe, the feminine vibe that the girl emits while putting on clothes that we are supposed, clothes that we're supposed to, or we know as guy clothes. Okay, so it's the same thing with guys as well. If you look at the ladies' high heels, the high heels that they wear that makes them look very, very, very sexy was originally something that guys wore. Okay, so something that guys wore originally. The aristocrats would wear this in perhaps the medieval era. It was a fashion piece for men, the high heels, until the ladies adopted it and made it their own, while still retaining and maintaining their sexuality while putting it on. Of course, of the in this day of the of I mean, in this day and age where feminism is getting more and more popular, you find that some ladies, especially hardcore feminists, will attempt to do this. That is, will wear perhaps a guy's shirt for whatever reason, but you find that they aren't sexy enough when they do this. That is hardcore feminist. Because over time, what they do is they tend to lose their sexuality, that natural feminine energy that they're supposed to be emitting due to them wanting to compete with men. So while they're dressing like men, while some other lady who still retains her femininity or her feminine energy, while dressed like a man, maybe a tomboy, will still be sexy, but a very hardcore feminist who, over time, in order to portray equal strength with men, will turn off her feminine energy. And you look at this lady and you don't get, you don't get sexually attracted to her as a result of this. So it goes both ways actually. But since the ladies have been able to, majority of them have been able to, majority of them have been able to retain and maintain their sexuality this compared to guys in this modern day and age who are getting more and more feminized. You find that when a guy tries to do that, when a guy tries to adopt or wear, earrings or whatever the case may be, whatever this person, that is this guy, decides to adopt from the other side, if he doesn't retain or maintain his masculinity, his masculine energy, it doesn't get that, it doesn't get that same, or it doesn't have that same effect on the ladies as the other guys who have adopted these accessories and are still able to wear them while still retaining and maintaining their masculinity. It's something you can observe as well. Okay? It's something you can observe. It's something you can observe as well. So, like I said, is a fashion tip for guys, because I know it gets to a point in time where, as a man, I feel you don't just want to stop there. Okay, it gets to a point in time where you want to be sexy, you want to be sexually appealing to the opposite sex, and that would mean you going out of your way to try things that the nice guy, that is the guy who is a nice guy, won't necessarily gravitate towards. Because the definition of a nice guy is a guy who has, one of the traits, not just the definition, one of the traits of a nice guy is that he has turned off his sexuality. He's more androgynous than masculine, because he thinks that if he turns off his sexuality, if he pretends that he's not sexually attracted to the opposite sex, that would make the ladies feel safer with him to have sex with him. And we know that doesn't that doesn't work as the way he plans it to be, and that makes him frustrated over time. let's go for a music break, okay? Let's go for a quick music break. When we come back from this one, we'll talk some more, okay? I'll share some one or two things that I still have left to share with you. And through this, we are now fast approaching the end of this broadcast. But I believe you have learned one or two things, something you can take home with you. In case uh, you wanna, should I say, take it a step up, okay, when it comes to your looks, okay, you want to be bold and do some things that are seemingly out of your character or seemingly out of what you would normally do in terms of, okay. So this is something you can always apply when next you want to, you know, do something really cool and you're not really sure how it's going to work out. So all you have to just ask yourself is, am I masculine enough? Okay, am I emitting enough masculine presence? Because that's what is going to make you sexually attractive. That's what's going to make you very sexy when you now adopt that feminine, when you now adopt that female accessory or feminine accessory, which will serve to attract the attention of the opposite sex. Let's go for this music break, a quick one. The song is titled If I Forget. Enjoy this one. We'll be back right after this music break.
Spiritually fit so that you can always find it in yourself, to go deep. Mentally fit so that you're listening to blend.
Welcome back from that quick music break. This is your number one electronic music station in God knows where, and you're listening to Blind episode 18. My name is Lázougi. I've been, your wonderful, you know, fantastic host, okay? I really enjoyed myself, talking and interacting with you. I want to say thank you for tuning in as always. Thank you for being very ever patient with us as we maneuver these challenges of ours in order for us to be able to do this every week. Again, like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, anytime we don't come together for blend like last week Friday, just know it's due to most likely power inconveniences most of the time. Okay, should I say 90% of the time is power inconvenience, and you know what I mean by that by now. Okay. We have very epileptic power supply over here, and it's not 24 hours. We don't have 24 hours power supply, so I have to make do with what I have available to just get this done and to be able to hang out with you, talk, share some tips, some information, work minds, interact, listen to electronic music, and have a wonderful time. I want to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. The song you listen to during this quick music break is titled "If I Forget." Before that, we had a conversation on on no on male fashion tips and conventions that can also be applied to women as well. Actually, we learned no we should I say learned it from them. Okay, they they are more comfortable doing this. That is, they are more comfortable taking our stuff, wearing it, and looking sexy while doing it. I mean, girls are now um, you know, wearing sneakers that you know would be normally for guys. Girls now wear sneakers, hoodies, trousers, different stuff that you would be like, oh, that's guy stuff, but they are able to do it and pull off that sexy look. Okay, so why can't we do it as well? And when you see people who have been able to do it in perhaps extreme ways, what I mean by people, when you see guys who have been able to do it in perhaps extreme ways, like the rock stars, you know, Xerex, or in subtle ways uh, like like the celebrities, like the athletes, like your Ronaldos, your LeBron James, and Didi, musicians, people who have been able to, guys who have been able to just take something from the other side and adopt it as part of their look, and you're attracted to it both as a guy, as a know as a lady as well, and you wonder, okay, how do they pull it off? How can I pull it off? There's some, should I say, principles, or some should I, rules, or there's a common denominator that just makes the whole package work, and that is what we have been able to articulate on this episode of Blend. So I want to say thank you once again for tuning in. I've had a wonderful time. I hope you've learned one or two things. I hope that you have something to take away, to take home with you, and I know that you will be joining us same time next week for Blend episode 19. It's the month of February. No, it's the month of love. I know you've got one or two things planned out for you and a special person of yours. Okay? I know you've got something, something, you're working on something, okay? Unless you're gonna be in big trouble. You better be working on something, else you're gonna be in big trouble. You know what I mean? So thank you once again. This is Alpha. We are gonna be taking this episode of Blend. But before I go, I'm gonna leave you with one last song for you to just enjoy. while I draw the curtains, okay, while I bring everything to a halt. Okay, so you take this song home with you. It's called Fugitive. So enjoy this one. My name is Lázougi, to be part of our family here on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Subscribe by the way to the station and turn on the notification bell right beside the subscribe button so that you do get our live notifications when we go live for our broadcast. Okay, like I said, we are very, very, very flexible over here. Okay, there's no, we're very, very flexible with our scheduling for now. Okay, until things in terms of power supply become better and more consistent. So we have to be very flexible now. So turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss our live broadcast. My name is Lázougi, being your host for this episode of Blend. Take care of yourself. God bless you, and I'll see you next week for Blend episode 19. This has been Blend episode 18. Yeah, on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. Bye.
listening to number one electronic
music station.
in God knows where.